My friends, we live in a world where words have become cheap. They roll off the tongue so easily, and yet they often carry so little weight. People say, I love you, in moments of passion, in moments of convenience, sometimes even in moments of manipulation. But love, real love, is never proven by words alone. True love always goes deeper. It seeks, it searches, it leans in with a desire to truly know the heart of the other. It's not content with surface talk. It doesn't just want to be heard, it wants to understand. Think about the love of God. He didn't just say he loved us, he showed it. Scripture says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son." His love was not in speeches, but in sacrifice. In the same way, when someone truly loves you, they don't simply echo the words of love. They ask the questions that reveal their heart. Their questions become windows into their intentions. Their curiosity is not shallow, it is sincere. They want to know what makes you weep, what makes you rejoice, what burdens your spirit, and what lifts it. They want to know because love cannot be satisfied until it understands the one it cherishes. When a man or woman claims to love but never asks, never seeks, never digs deeper into who you are, you must pause. For love without questions is love without commitment. It is love that stays on the surface, unwilling to dive into the depths of the soul. But when love is real, it cannot remain silent. It asks, it listens, it desires to connect. Think of the difference between someone who merely admires you from afar and someone who truly commits their life to you. The admirer may shower you with compliments, but the one who is committed will ask questions that require time, patience, and a willingness to hear even the uncomfortable truths. They will ask not because they are curious, but because they care. They will ask not to control, but to understand. And that, my friends, is the mark of true love. I have spoken with countless couples, young and old, who can testify to this truth. The ones who last, the ones who weather storms together, are not the ones who were satisfied with flowery words at the beginning. They are the ones who learn to ask, to listen, to seek understanding day after day. And it is in those questions, simple as they may seem, that the foundation of a lasting love is built. Ask yourself this: do the people in your life who claim to love you ever take the time to truly know you? Do they ask about your fears, your dreams, your faith, your struggles? Do they care enough to sit in silence while you speak your heart? Or are they too quick to change the subject, too eager to keep the conversation light and shallow? Real love isn't afraid of depth. It isn't afraid of the hard questions. It isn't afraid of what it might hear, because it knows that the truth, once revealed, only strengthens the bond between two hearts. And here is something even more important. When someone asks, "How are you really?" they are saying far more than the words themselves. They are declaring, "You matter to me, your soul matters, your well-being matters. I am not here just for the good days. I am here for all of it." That is love. That is commitment. That is the kind of heart you can trust. But do not mistake empty questioning for genuine care. Some will ask out of curiosity, but true love asks out of compassion. Some will inquire to satisfy their own interest, but true love inquires to carry your burdens, to share your load, to walk with you in whatever season you find yourself. Love that seeks to understand is love that mirrors the heart of God, for He, too, leans into our cries, our prayers, our questions, and He answers with mercy and grace. So remember this: love that is content with shallow words will fade when trials come. But love that seeks, that asks, that listens will endure. It will hold steady in the storm, it will stand firm in the valley, and it will rejoice in the mountaintop moments. For love that seeks to understand is love that lasts. That is why true love isn't proven by words alone, but by the questions that show genuine care and desire to understand. My friends, there is no greater evidence of love than when someone takes your name, your struggles, your needs, and your heart before the throne of God. The one who truly loves you will not only speak kind words in your presence, but will kneel in prayer when no one else is watching. They will lift you up before the Father, asking Him to guide you, strengthen you, protect you, and bless you. That is love that goes beyond this world, because it reaches into the eternal. It is love that understands that no human strength is enough, that only God can sustain a soul. Think for a moment about what it means when someone prays for you. It means they are carrying your burdens as if they were their own. It means they are willing to enter into your struggle and stand in the gap on your behalf. That is not a casual act. It is one of the deepest demonstrations of love you will ever know. A person who prays for you is saying, I care about your future more than my comfort. I care about your soul more than my own convenience. I will take the time to call on heaven because your life matters that much to me. So many people talk about love as a feeling, a rush of emotion that comes and goes. But real love has knees that bend. Real love has hands that fold. Real love has a heart that intercedes. It is not content to love you in words alone. It must love you in the presence of God. Because the one who loves you knows that their own strength cannot sustain you, but God's strength can. Their own wisdom cannot guide you, but God's wisdom will never fail. If you want to know whether someone's love for you is genuine, watch what they do when you are not in the room. Do they carry your name to God in prayer? Do they ask Him to lead your steps, to guard your heart, to deepen your faith? Or is their love only present when it benefits them? My friends, you can tell the depth of a person's love not by what they say in your ear, but by what they say in prayer when no one else can hear. Think about Jesus, who even now intercedes for us at the right hand of the Father. That is the picture of love, continually lifting us before God, continually asking on our behalf. And when someone loves you enough to do the same, they are reflecting His love. They are pointing you back to the one who holds all things in His hands. That is why this kind of love is so powerful. It does not just tie you to another person, it ties you to heaven itself. I have seen husbands pray for wives, wives pray for husbands, parents pray for children, and children pray for parents. Those prayers have carried families through storms, through sickness, through heartbreak, through loss. Because when the love of God is invited into a relationship through prayer, it becomes a love that nothing in this world can shake. That kind of love does not end when the road gets hard. It only grows stronger because it is rooted in something eternal. But hear me on this. A love that never prays for you is a love that cannot sustain you. It may flatter you, it may charm you, it may even make you feel good for a season. But when the weight of life presses down, when temptation comes, when trials rise, that kind of love will crumble. Only the love that seeks God on your behalf will endure. Only the love that lifts you up in prayer will stand firm when everything else is shaken. So do not settle for words that never bend a knee. Do not be fooled by promises that are never carried before God. Because real love, lasting love, eternal love will always say, I will pray for you. And more than that, it will do it. It will carry your burdens before God, showing you that its roots go far deeper than this life, stretching into eternity where true love never ends. That is why the one who loves you will carry your burdens before God, showing their love goes beyond this world. My friends, there is a difference between someone who simply enjoys being around you and someone who is truly invested in your life. Many people may like your company. They may enjoy your smile, your laughter, the way you make them feel. But real love goes far beyond enjoying a moment. It looks toward your future, your purpose, your calling. Real love is not selfish. It does not cling to you just for comfort or companionship. Instead, it desires to see you grow into the very person God created you to be. When someone truly loves you, they will not hold you back from the path God has set before you. They will not discourage you from pursuing the vision He has placed in your heart. Instead, they will be your encourager, your supporter, the one who cheers you on when the road is long and weary. They will want to see you fulfill God's plan for your life, even if it requires sacrifice. They will not be jealous of your calling. They will not compete with it. They will rejoice in it, because they know your obedience to God brings Him glory, and that is what matters most. Think about the people in your life who claim to love you. Do they only want your time, your attention, your presence? Or do they also care about your growth, your faith, your eternal purpose? You see, love that is centered only on company will wither when the seasons change. But love that is rooted in your calling will stand firm because it is anchored in something eternal. The truth is, God has a plan for every single one of us. His word tells us, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And when someone loves you, they will want to see that plan come alive in your life. They will ask, "What are your dreams? What is God speaking to your heart? How can I walk with you as you follow him?" That kind of love doesn't just enjoy your presence today. It is invested in your destiny tomorrow. I have met many who have been held back by those who claimed to love them. A young man who wanted to serve the Lord, but was discouraged because his partner said it was too demanding. A young woman who felt called to missions, but was told her dreams were unrealistic. Friends, that is not love. Love will never demand that you bury your calling just to keep someone else comfortable. Love will never pull you away from the path of obedience to God. Instead, love will strengthen your steps, encourage your heart, and remind you that God's plan is always worth following. And let us not forget, when someone is truly invested in your calling, they are not just interested in your success, but in your faithfulness. They are not pushing you toward worldly achievement alone. They are pointing you toward obedience, holiness, and trust in God. Because fulfilling God's plan is not always about the applause of men, but about hearing those words one day, "Well done, good and faithful servant." True love wants you to reach that moment. True love wants you to finish well. It takes a selfless heart to invest in another's calling. It requires humility to say, "I want you to be everything God intended, even if it means sacrifice for me." But that is what love does. It gives. It encourages, it uplifts, it refuses to stand in the way of God's will. That is the kind of love you can trust. So when you are discerning whether someone's love for you is real, ask yourself this: do they only want my presence, or do they also want my purpose? Do they only enjoy my company, or are they also invested in my calling? Because the one who truly loves you will not be satisfied until they see you walking in the fullness of God's plan. That is why real love is invested in your calling, not just your company. They will want to see you fulfill God's plan. My friends, there is something powerful and beautiful about humility in love. The world around us often teaches that love is about what you can gain, what you can receive, how someone else can make your life easier or happier. But real love does not begin with "What can I get from you?" Real love humbles itself and asks, "What can I give? How can I serve? How can I make your load lighter, your heart stronger, your faith deeper?" That is the kind of love that lasts, because it mirrors the love God has shown to us. Think about the life of Christ. He came not to be served, but to serve. He washed the feet of his disciples, the very ones who would later deny and abandon him. Why? Because love humbles itself. Love stoops down. Love gives even when it is not returned. And when someone truly loves you, they will carry that same spirit of humility. They will not demand that you serve their needs first, but instead they will look for ways to bless you, to encourage you, to strengthen you in your walk. When a man or woman's first question in a relationship is, "What can I get out of this?" you must be cautious. That is not the heart of true love. That is selfishness wrapped in sweet words. But when someone asks, "How can I love you better? How can I serve you more faithfully? How can I help you become the person God has called you to be?" that is the mark of humility. That is the sign of a heart that is more interested in giving than in receiving. I have spoken with many people who found themselves worn down because the one they loved only ever took and never gave. Their relationship became one-sided, draining, exhausting. And when the storms of life came, that so-called love crumbled because it was never rooted in humility. But those who built their love on giving, on serving, on sacrifice, they found their bond only grew stronger when tested. Because true love is never afraid to humble itself. It takes humility to set aside your own desires to meet the needs of another. It takes humility to say, I don't need to be first. I want to see you flourish. And it takes humility to recognize that the greatest joy comes not from being served, but from serving. That is why marriages that last are built on a foundation of mutual giving. Each one is asking, how can I love you better today? And when both hearts carry that question, love becomes unshakable. But let me tell you something else. Humility in love does not mean weakness. It is not about being trampled or silenced. No, humility is strength under control. It is the power to demand your own way, but the choice to lay it down for the sake of the one you love. That is not weakness. That is the strongest kind of love. It takes more courage to give than to take. It takes more strength to serve than to be served. And this humility shows up not only in the big sacrifices, but in the small daily choices. It is the willingness to listen when you'd rather talk. It is the decision to forgive quickly instead of holding a grudge. It is the act of putting down your own burdens long enough to help carry someone else's. It is the question asked again and again, what can I give today? And in that giving, love grows deeper, stronger, more enduring. So ask yourself this: do the people who claim to love you come with open hands ready to give, or with closed fists ready to take? Do they ask how they can serve you, or do they demand how you must serve them? Because love that only takes will fade, but love that humbles itself to give will stand the test of time. That is why love humbles itself. A heart that loves will ask how it can give, not what it can get. My friends, it is easy to stand beside someone when the sun is shining, when the path is smooth, when the laughter is loud and the victories are many. Anybody can love you when you are at your best, when you are strong, when you are winning. But the real test of love is not how someone treats you in your successes, but how they stand with you in your struggles. Real love doesn't vanish when the clouds roll in. Real love doesn't walk away when the valley grows dark. A true partner, someone whose heart is invested in you, will not only celebrate your mountaintop moments, but will also walk with you when the path leads downward into the shadows. There is a depth of love that is revealed only in hard times. When you face loss, when you encounter failure, when sickness comes, or when discouragement weighs heavily on your spirit, that is when you see who really loves you. The crowd may thin, the friends may disappear, but the one who truly loves you will still be there. They will sit in the silence of your pain. They will pray when you cannot find the words. They will remind you that you are not alone. That is the kind of love you can trust, because it is love that does not run from the valley. It enters it with you. We must not forget that even the strongest among us will face seasons of weakness. No life is free of trials. The question is not whether the valley will come. The question is who will walk with you when it does. And when love is genuine, it doesn't flinch at hardship. It doesn't abandon you when you stumble. Instead, it extends a hand, it offers a shoulder, it speaks words of courage when yours are gone. That is the evidence of a love that is real. I have seen people who thought they were surrounded by love, only to discover in the valley that they were alone. Promises made on the mountain faded when the storms rolled in. But I have also seen the quiet, steady faithfulness of those who loved enough to stay, to endure, to carry burdens that were not their own. Those are the ones who reflect the kind of love that God Himself shows us. For He does not abandon us in our weakness. He draws nearer. And when someone truly loves you, they will follow that same example. It is in those moments of struggle that a true partner reveals their heart. They do not say, "Call me when things get better." They do not distance themselves because it is inconvenient. They lean in closer. They remain present, even when there are no solutions, even when all they can offer is their presence. And sometimes, my friends, that presence is more powerful than any answer. To have someone beside you, to know you are not walking the valley alone, that is love. That is faithfulness. That is the kind of companionship that endures. Love that only exists in success is not love. It is admiration. It is convenience. It is temporary. But love that stays in the valley, that chooses to remain when things are broken and uncertain. That is the kind of love worth building a life on. Because valleys will come, storms will rise, struggles will weigh heavy, and when they do, the one who loves you will not let go of your hand. So when you measure love, do not look only at who celebrates with you in victory. Ask yourself, who will weep with me in sorrow? Who will walk with me in the valley? Who will hold me up when I cannot stand? Because that, my friends, is where true love is proven. That is why love shows up in your struggles, not just your successes. A true partner walks with you in the valley. My friends, there is something sacred about a love that is built on truth. In a world where so many relationships are built on shallow promises, fleeting emotions, and empty words, we need to be reminded that real love seeks more. Real love desires purity, faithfulness, and a foundation that will stand the test of time. It is not afraid of the hard questions, because it knows that those questions are not meant to destroy, but to protect, not to divide, but to guard the heart. When someone truly loves you, they are not content to leave things unspoken, hidden, or uncertain. They will ask the questions that matter. Are we honoring God in this relationship? Are we being truthful with one another? Are we walking in faithfulness, not just with each other, but with the Lord? Those are not easy questions, but they are necessary, because love that avoids truth is love that cannot last. It may shine for a moment, but when temptation comes, when trials arise, it will fall apart. But love that builds on purity and faithfulness will endure, because its foundation is not shifting sand, it is solid rock. Think about what purity means. It is not only about physical faithfulness, though that is important. Purity is about the heart, the mind, the intentions. It is about loving someone with honesty, with respect, with a desire to see them drawn closer to God rather than pulled away. And when love is real, it will guard that purity fiercely. It will not lead you into sin. It will not push you toward compromise. It will not settle for half-truths. Instead, it will lift you higher. It will call you to holiness. It will challenge you to keep your life aligned with God's word. And what about faithfulness? Faithfulness is more than avoiding betrayal. It is about loyalty in the small things as much as the big. It is about showing up when it is inconvenient, keeping promises when it is difficult, choosing to remain steady when the world around you wavers. Faithfulness says, "You can count on me." And when love is real, it doesn't need to be reminded to be faithful. It desires faithfulness. It longs for that kind of trust, because it understands that without it, love crumbles. Now let us speak about truth. Love built on lies is like a house built on sand. It may stand for a while, but eventually the waves will come and it will collapse. But when two hearts are honest, when they speak openly, when they refuse to hide behind masks, that is when love can truly flourish. Truth may be hard. It may mean asking questions that are uncomfortable. It may mean confronting things that are easier left unsaid. But real love would rather face hard truth than live with easy lies. I have seen relationships fall apart because no one dared to ask the hard questions. They swept issues under the rug. They pretended everything was fine. They avoided the conversations that mattered most. And in time, those hidden things came to light, and the foundation cracked. But I have also seen couples who sat down, opened their hearts, asked the difficult questions, and though it was not easy, they built a love that could not be shaken. Because truth, my friends, is not the enemy of love. It is its safeguard, so do not be afraid of the hard questions. They are not signs of doubt, they are signs of care. They are the questions that protect your heart, that keep your love pure, that make sure your relationship is not just built on feelings, but on something eternal. When someone asks, are we walking in truth? Are we being faithful? Are we living in a way that honors God? They are not trying to control you. They are trying to protect the love you share. And that, my friends, is the kind of love worth waiting for, worth building, worth keeping. Because love without purity will stumble, love without faithfulness will falter, and love without truth will fail. But love that desires all three, purity, faithfulness, and truth will endure, because it is grounded not in the shifting desires of man, but in the eternal will of God. That is why real love desires purity, faithfulness, and a foundation built on truth. It asks the hard questions that guard the heart. My friends, I pray these words have stirred your heart and helped you see what real love looks like. If this message spoke to you, don't leave without sharing it with someone who needs encouragement today. Make sure to like this video so more people can hear the truth about love. Subscribe to this channel for more messages that will guide you in faith, relationships, and life. And until next time, may God bless you and keep you always.